Randall, a community activist and the founder of the X for Boys Prep School in Albany, Georgia. So, King, I first want to get really your broad type of take on this. I mean, oftentimes our institutions are good at certain things. You know, the U.S. military, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're the best in the world at what they do. But oftentimes there's a conversation about whether certain things should be taught at a school, at home, anything like that. Do you kind of have concerns about where certain values, for example, are instilled in institutions as opposed to maybe schools or at the home?
Right, absolutely. I definitely feel like there are a lot of things that need to be taught at school because many things aren't being taught at home, especially with the absence of a lot of fathers in the home, especially in the black community in particular. A lot of children aren't learning those things that they need to know to survive. Just simple things such as changing a tire, changing a light bulb, changing the ceiling fan, how to change your oil, how to kill an animal and skin it for food. I mean, these are things that I believe that need to be taught to young men in particular, but also things need to be taught to young women as well. And the failure of our school systems at teaching those things that these children need to know, knowing that their parents are absent in their lives, I definitely think our school systems are failing in that area.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, for example, I've never learned how to, when I was growing up in school, I never learned how to write a check or really budget or anything like that. Things that, I mean, everybody should be able to learn how to do. I mean, it's something that you're going to be able to use every single day of your life. And as opposed to, you know, I remember saying it in math class, like, when will I ever use this formula in my life or anything like that? That's not to say we shouldn't take math seriously. Right. But, I mean, sometimes there are practical things that we can instill. And I know that you're looking to do just that. You have an extraordinary objective right now with the school that you're looking to do. Can you really break down exactly what this is, this new endeavor?
Absolutely. Well, most people know me by the X for Boys. I have an organization in Albany, Georgia. We teach young men the different skilled trades. We also teach them how to read. Our program also has a 0% recidivism rate. Every child that's come to our program from jail has never been back. I'm 21 years old now, and I just began this program when I was 19 years old. I've been taking children from the juvenile justice system, keeping them in my home. I had some bunk beds. I put them in my living room, and I wanted to make sure that these young men actually had a safe space and a place to be able to learn how to read and do these things. But we were able to defeat the stereotype that young black men in America are not able to do certain things because somebody's holding us down. We were able to defeat the stereotype that, you know, we're young black in America and that we can't do anything. I'm 21 years old and every child under me is a teenager, and we went out and did work, and we actually bought a full school campus, 36,000 square feet, 25 classrooms, and we just bought a school bus as well. We want to make sure that in one of the poorest cities in America, which is Albany, Georgia, that we still can make something happen. We want to make sure that young black men are able to see that you can get up and go and do something. So me being young, I just wanted to make sure that they are able to see possible, because it is possible. If somebody's holding us down, we're allowing them to. And if we do believe that somebody else is holding us down, why we keep asking the same system that we do believe is holding us down to help us out? Why not go start something for yourself? Why not help your own community?
I mean, that's amazing. Well, I mean, that's the only word that I can think of when you're explaining exactly what you're doing. And you're exactly right, because that is something that you need to instill at a younger age. I mean, it's harder to really get people to break bad habits later in life, and especially at an age such as 21 or just around that age. It's developmental. That's where you really build character. You build the type of life lessons that you take with you for the rest of your life. So what has the response been? Have you had any pushback, for example? Has anyone been upset about that? Or would you say that it's mostly been pretty positive up to this point?
It's been pretty positive. Of course, some people have, you know, a different issue with me because I'm young, of course. And of course, I do consider myself conservative. So a lot of people have issue with that until I explain it. Many people in the black community, we love to, you know, scream about Brother Minister Malcolm X and things like that. But people try to reduce Malcolm X down to violence, and that's not what he was about. He was saying, if you simply believe that you are in an oppressive system, why not create a system of your own? Why are you asking the system that you believe is oppressing you to help you out? Why not go start your own schools? And he also said, he was like, how are we going to have immigrants come to our country with nickels and dimes and no education, come here, set up stores, develop those stores into larger stores, develop those stores into industries, which creates job opportunities for their own kind. Brother Minister Malcolm X said he feels like that we're not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and claim that he's discriminating against us for not setting up jobs in his stores that we hadn't set up for ourselves. So how are we going to claim that the school system is you know, not taking care of our children and teaching them what they need to know when we haven't created our own schools? Why haven't we created our own factories? Why are we still begging and pleading and asking when we can just simply go do for ourselves? And for people that believe that we can't do it, me and some teenagers just absolutely went and did it. We defeated the stereotype in at one time, the fourth poorest city in the United States. Crime rate super high. Our poverty level is super high, but we still went and made it happen because we believe that instead of asking politicians for anything, instead of begging the government for anything, I'm not asking Donald Trump for it. I'm not asking President Joe Biden for it. We're not asking any politicians around our communities for anything, because as long as we keep asking them for stuff, our communities are going to remain in turmoil. I mean, if we keep expecting things from politicians that we didn't raise in our communities are going to remain in turmoil. So if we do these things for ourselves and go and help our children, because ever since we began our program and watching these children change their lives and watch them get off of probation and watch them stop smoking and watch them, go take care of their children. We have children being molested. We have children dealing with incest. We have children dying every day in our communities, but there's no rah-rah hoopla about children being stabbed, murdered, beaten, raped every day in our communities. But there's this rah-rah hoopla about the oppressive system when we're oppressing ourselves.
I think you're spot on. It's the idea of achieving equality through equity, what you're talking about right now. I mean, if you were able to, for example, build up your own business, do things on your own, you really don't have to rely on the government or other people or anything like that. In fact, it's a way of really creating a start for yourself in a way that nobody can really take that from you. I think that's very well said. And King, before I let you go too, I want to make sure that you get all the assistance you can get, because this is such an important endeavor. Is there anywhere that people can go to really get involved or help out or at least learn more information about your program?
Absolutely. Our website is thexforboys.org. That's THEXFORBOYS.org. And of course, you can follow me on all social media at New Emerging King to see everything that we're doing, everything that we have planned, and also things that we'll be doing in developing our school. We are having to renovate it right now because we just purchased the location.